gonna actually share the amazingness of our cooking with everyone. We are actually going to share the amazingness of what we have available in our kitchen, the amazingness of what we are cooking today. And we're also going to share our Christmas corner like we do with these cookings these days. We share our Christmas corner. Today is the very 1st of October, and we are excited to share our October season with everyone. For Ribea, Elise, it's still in the spring season of our seasons in Auckland, New Zealand. And with our cooking today, we are going to share because we are going to actually also do our pumpkin ourselves. We wanted to have Doreen do the pumpkin, but Doreen didn't come to the kitchen yet. So he maybe doesn't want to cut the pumpkin for us this Sunday. So what we are going to share today is we are going to do our sweet pumpkin again today because I was actually last Sunday a little bit disappointed in a few things on our... A little bit disappointed with a few things on our and in a few things that happened in our kitchen last Sunday, right? So in a few things of our pumpkin, of our sweet pumpkin, the flavor that I wanted in there was there, but I didn't add enough sugar to it. And I was a little bit disappointed because I added milk and I wanted the milk, the butter, and the sugar flavor in that mash. So another thing that I was disappointed about last Sunday's cooking was my rice, right? Y'all know we do the rice almost every Sunday and it's our seasonal rice. And what I want to do with the rice, because it's my Mama Martha rice, right? It resembles our mama-ness, my grandmama Martha-ness in the kitchen. And the sweet pumpkin resembles my Mama Anna in the kitchen, right? So my Mama Anna was a sweet pumpkin and a sweet butternut and a sweet potato, right? The mama in the kitchen, my Mama Martha, my Mama Anna loved all the veggies and so. And my Mama Martha was a potato with rice. And Mama Martha cooked the pot rice and she added the potatoes in there. And that's what my Mama Martha introduced to us when she came to meet us. She only came to meet us once in all of her life, and that time she had a season, a few days with us, and that to me is a generational education. And because many of us sometimes do not have the opportunity to meet our mothers and to meet our family members. So for Mama Martha, who came to Chicago those years, after the apartheid years, right? And she came to our house and she came to meet the children kids. And the children kids were excited to have a grandmother, and I've explained it earlier. And the children kids were also excited to share in that. And that is our familyness. And when Mama Martha came, Mama Martha did a few things that really never forgets any education of any of our parents in the house. And Mama Martha did a few things that was odd for the children kids. And one of the few things is she did the rice. And I think she was already 80 years old those years, 70 years old those years already. Because I remember she was deceased when she was 94, 93, 94 years old. So Mama Martha came and Mama Martha did the rice. And Mama Martha put the potatoes in and the onions in the same pot. And she steamed, cooked that, and she made it. And Mama Anna came from work, and Mama Anna did the food. And Ribea always in the children kids out, Mama, our mama is cooking. Mama Martha don't have to cook for us the rice also. Because when Mama comes from work, Mama cooks a whole plate of food. But it was not what Mama Martha was cooking. It was the education that happened and the education of the riceness, right? So she came to introduce herself to us as a grandmother, Mama Anna Philander's mother. And she did the rice for a few days. And we were awed with it because we knew our mama is very firm in the kitchen. And our mama loves her cooking in the kitchen. And then we learned that Mama Martha came to educate us on that. Last Sunday, my rice was not the way I wanted it. So this Sunday, we're going to focus on the rice. Let me share a few things with everyone quickly. And that we really want to share with and that we really want to share on today is our window first, our nice window, our cooking window. And that's one of our first amazingnesses of our Sunday cooking. We are sharing our veggies that we are having today available. And with our veggies today, we have, there's our amazing sweet pumpkin. There is our amazing potatoes, our onion, our carrots that we're going to grow with the potato today. and that we're gonna make with the potato today, and our broccoli. We're also gonna do cauliflower with the broccoli. So we're gonna share that just now. I just have to take out the cauliflower or some cauliflower for that. We're gonna do the sweet pumpkin the way that we do the sweet pumpkin with the sugar, not with milk today, with the normal, with the sugar. I really want to just enjoy my sweet pumpkin and my rice today, my flavored rice. And what we're also going to share today with everyone is our meat today. Let me just say there's our rice. We have already started with our rice. Yes, we colored our rice already. Everyone knows we color our rice with color, with curry. If we do not have rice, turmeric that colors the rice, turmeric spice, then we use curry to color the rice. There is our silver side today. We're gonna have silver side. We're gonna have chicken with that. And we're also gonna have our amazing spices, yes. We're having our cajun for the rice today. We're gonna put some zest of the mandarin, nectarine in. We're gonna add some masala to spice that, and we're gonna add some garlic to that. We're adding salt to our rice because last Sunday I really didn't add salt to that. My chicken spice Doreen added to the aromatic pot, so my chicken spice is in there. And then we're gonna have cinnamon today. We don't have cajun, so we're gonna have cinnamon today with our sweet pumpkin, with our butter, with our salt, and with our sugar. And that is where we want to be at with those foods, and where we want to be at with those flavors. Another thing that we can share is our corner key. That's our amazing Sunday corner. And that is our Christmas corner, everyone. There's our Christmas cup for sharing and caring for our household. There's our smoothie cup of Kiara's smoothie. Kiara's birthday is up and coming, not next week, the week after that. And then Kiara is 13 years old. There is our cup for Dorian, right? His hot chocolate cup. It's almost a Christmas cup. And a Christmas cup should be filled with goodies. Do we have anything in there? The only thing I've got in there is my debt in the world, and that's my Capitec bank card. The only debt that I ever has in the world, South African, Capitec, those debts that I can pay off, and I cannot pay it off because my AWOKH business is at that. Another thing, my AWOKH business is at Capitec, that you can't pay things off. You have money and you don't have money. Your business is amazing and your business is empty. And the money, Capitec Bank gave the loans to us. I remember when I started working at Niblewitz, right? And Capitec gave the loan to us. And Capitec calls you every month to tell you, Ribea, Elise, Miss R.E. Elise, your bank card looks amazing. There's a 30,000 rand for you. And then Ribea says, wow, Capitec, that sounds nice. And then you get the 30,000 rand. And then you get to the car dealer shop. And then the car dealer shop tells you that the car is actually 40,000 rand that you want. And then you can't even buy the car because the circumstances in the house sometimes requires you to use the 30,000 rand to fix your house. And here in this house is a cupboard that Doreen haven't fixed yet, and it sometimes is in our video, and it's amazing because the door needs to be fixed. Doreen has to call the guy, probably technician or whatever the agent's name is, and Doreen has to tell him that the cupboard door fell off, and Doreen has to fix that, and he hasn't even fixed that, the kitchen, one of the kitchen cupboard doors. So another thing that I want to say is that then Mr. Train Guy sits and Mr. Train Guy says, but it is Merry Christmas season, and we present for you AWOKH business, and where's your finances? And Ribea says, if my circumstances in the world gives me a Capitec bank loan, and I can't even at this stage tell Capitec that I'm going to pay that 30,000 rand off to them, and I really have not even bought a car with that money, because even the car that I bought, I couldn't afford to buy, and I had to buy a 25,000 rand car, and the car came broken, and my cousin came and he took the car away, and he said, let's sell this car off, because this car is giving you troubles in the world. And he sold the car off because even the car was not worth the 30,000 rand. And my job was amazing because I was working at Niblewitz and I was the human resources, but I only got paid 2,000 rand. And the manager said, but the other manager cannot give you a salary increase. So you can't even buy a new car and you can't even pay your Capitec loan. And it's a whole time story. And we're in a season where we said to the officers, so that's what happened. So because of that, Ribea is unemployed and starting my own business. And the funding of that is that Ribea is going to work for herself. She has done amazing in the offices. but the officers have disappointed her financially. And then Ribea decided to do that. New Zealand officers were not so disappointing, no. They were fine. The communications were fine. The work was fine. Stamford Plaza hotel was a bit odd. But other than Stamford Plaza in Auckland, all the other businesses and employments and Hudson emergent agencies were very fine. Whakarangaroa, there was oddness there in the office. But other than that, the jobs were fine, the salaries were fine. But I decided that the world abused Ribea Elise, the person in the name of it. And Ribea Elise decided to not go back to her office that have abused her name in the world with a lot of communications. And therefore, AWOKH business started after those communications. Officers were calling one another, and it was a whole discussion about Ribea Elise. And Ribea Elise decided that I'm not going to have my career or myself be abused or be threatened or be disrespected, because the type of person I am is not gonna go on a level that is lesser than myself in the office business, and the whole managers and everyone in the world is talking about Ribea the person and is trying to disrespect Ribea the person. And therefore Ribea's Christmas motive is that what AWOKH business we do what we can. Officers has disrespected us and we have given our best to them, and we continue to give our best to where we are at in our careers, but we do not allow ourselves to be abused by no one and by nothing, and we remain firm with that. So in the amazingness of that, Doreen is a breadwinner, and the amazingness is the house is amazing. Doreen works very hard for the money. He gets paid and he pays half of his salary to pay the house, and he doesn't even have a lot left when his salary is done every month. But we had amazing years and we are grateful for that. Other than that, that's where we are at in our season with the AWOKH business, everyone. Let's start cooking. Don't scissorize my kitchen today because I really am gonna now do the pumpkin. And everyone knows the pumpkin wants calmness, and I already started talking about my pumpkin. So while I'm gonna do the pumpkin, everyone remains calm. Let me first do my carrots, yes. So that no one aggresses me in my kitchen while I am going to add my carrots to that. And then we can do the pumpkin. Let's add our veggies in the platter. And that green, yes, Pastor Green. Pastor Green is fine there by the kitchen sink. He is fine there. I said about Dorian, other lapis in Dorian brought Pastor Green to the kitchen for a kitchen cloth, but we are amazingly using our amazing cloths to wipe our hands. We always need it handy because we always want to dry our hands when we are busy. So let's have that handy also, everyone. And leave Pastor Green there by the kitchen sink. Pastor Green is really Dorian, and his kitchen cloth is amazing. Oh. Our house in South Africa requires a whole lot of attention. Hopefully my brother is now also registered his business, so AWOKH business also goes on his registration number. And a South African registered. And while he has registered his business, he has really tried years to register his business, and they call him in South Africa, you know, when the world wants to put your household in a poverty circumstance. And this household was specifically built when my Mama Anna, the photo on my Instagram page, right at Ribea, was in the apartheid years of Emery AWOKH's house. In the house that we are staying now in today is a whole wealth managing process. It's not necessarily a wealth ruling process, but it's a wealth managing process. The house has been designed specifically for Ribea's fashion and for the fashion photos, and Ribea arrived at the house and Ribea didn't know about the process, and Ribea learned about all the processes. Certain people in the world are messing the process up, and certain people in the world are managing the process. So the house that Mama Anna, this house exactly that we are in New Zealand, looks like a team that are managing the process. The whole street looks like a managing team in the world. And they've managed a few of our houses like that. And Mama Anna told me about the real estateness in this world. And there's certain people in real estate, Mama Anna always used to say, that are messing the process up. And there's certain people that are managing a world process concerning humanity about it. That is restructuring humanity and the officeness of it. And every country and every people needs to be supplied and provided for. And it's a whole process of that. So this house specifically represents that. And it's exactly built the same way that Mama Anna's photo on the Instagram page at Ribea, where Mama Anna stands with her hands behind her back, right? when she came from the apartheid era with from Mama Martha and by the family that she was staying. I'm not going to mention their surname because the whole world knows their surname about it. And those were the apartheid people, but they were not abusive to the family. The years changed and everyone changed, and apartheid was apartheid. And the house was exactly built and constructed in that way. And I arrived in New Zealand, and the process was wanting to be implemented in my house in June 2022, where someone intervened with the people who managed this house. And they contacted the people and they disturbed my whole salary in New Zealand, and they disturbed communications with me from South Africa into the international leaders, parliamentary houses, and it was whole communications about it. And I felt disrupted about it, and my salary and my finances has not yet been corrected after that process of someone that disrupted someone's process. So I'm not difficult on the guys because I know they are having to manage a lot of things in this world. And there's a lot of people in poverty, and we really do not need the money if we do not need it. But at times when your household circumstances requires the finances, then sometimes we might need a AWOKH business, might need the finances. And we are not difficult when you know in the world that the husband is working. But what Ribea Elise educates on a AWOKH business, if there's people that's really earning over the threshold of what households can be provided for, those circumstances and situations can be looked and can be met with, so that other countries, people that find themselves in oppression and that requires the finances, that the finances are meant to rotate in the world. We travel to countries, we visit countries, we are in international countries. So the finances are meant to not only be by Ribea's house, and that's why Ribea mentions the bank card, because this finances rotates in the world and it goes to someone else's house, and someone else are provided for, and Dorian has got a salary and they manage how much Dorian gets earned. And when the circumstances get difficult for the wife in the house, then they know, okay, now Ribea's business might need money because Ribea and Dorian might not be in that. There is an agreement in the house, and there's a team managing it, and they are managing this house, and it's an amazing process. But they were disrupted in June 2022 by a whole lot of people in the Netherlands who were part of that. And the international sports teams was also disrupting them. And they came to disrupt my Whakarangaroa job. And the Turkish team in Omer and Daphne, the film that was written about Ribea Elise's fashion, and the Daphne about it, and Ribea shoes about it, and where we shop by Zara, and Antoinette Shoe Cupboard, and the whole communication and amazing communication of television and entertainment that came to Ribea Elise, and it went to South Africa television to educate South Africa about Ribea Elise's house, and who's managing it and where it's managed from, were disrupted in June 2022, and it has not yet been changed. But we are not aggressed with no one. All we are saying is do not oppress our houses and do not try apartheid rulings in our houses again, because Ribea knows exactly who's managing what in a day and in a life. And I always say, for the team that has managed this house, it has been managed very well and very fine. And I can give them an applause, but they were disrupted by a whole lot of communications in New Zealand in June 2022 by Brother Zak's wedding. We had to travel to South Africa, and everything was, the traveling was cancelled. The flight was cancelled for good reasons, because some people wanted my flight itinerary and some people wanted to share it around the world. And it was whole communications, and they cancelled my flight at that day. That was also very good management skills there for all the teams. I always say I was very angry for the flight and that I couldn't travel to South Africa, because the Netherlands teams of people, that's Malvina, then that's pastoring, were disrupting the process. So the process was managed fine, and I went to Dubai, and Dubai didn't say it with the words, but they educated us naturally about the process and the education in the world, and how they manage offices in the world, and how their entertainment businesses are managed. And then the whole church business intervened in my household in Auckland, New Zealand, when I had to travel in June 2022. Some people ended my traveling for good reason, I always say, because there was a lot of communication about me, and it was going to affect a lot of people that's also traveling. And I didn't realize what was happening, because it's apartheid arguments in the world, and it's all arguments about people and families and houses. And in the whole argument, they ended the flight and they canceled everything, but I was disrupted by the people who were also involved in ending the whole traveling communication, because then they tried to mess with my finances, and then it was abuses, and then it was international sports, and then it was Ribea Elise is now on the international sports, the main person that everyone talks about in a AWOKH business, and then the abuses went on, and that's why I didn't go back to the office. So to everyone who's working on the processes, I really know there's kind guys out there But I really also know that they were really disrupted a lot. I always shout for the Indians, but I don't mean it bad. And everyone knows, the New Zealanders also know, they get angry for the Indians sometimes because the young children are sharing information, and the Maoris are very firm on how they manage their processes, and they're not also difficult. They're like Ribea, Elise, but don't go and put them in poverty about, about wanting to rule the world. And the only thing that was a problem, and that is a problem sometimes with the Maori people in New Zealand, is when they are finding all these communications about people that want to manage New Zealand and that want to put them in poverty. And that's only when they get aggressive and angry. And that's only when they reprimand the Indians and say that there's a lot that's happening in the world. And we know everyone has got management skills and everyone can do everything. But the Maoris are not dumb about it. My Anna always used to say, I'm not dumb about it. I cannot read and write, but I'm not stupid about it. So if there's managing processes, then people shouldn't come and abuse the Maoris about it. If everyone has to travel to New Zealand, the Maoris are firm about it. You can travel amazingly all over the world, but don't come and disturb the Maori people about people that now has to work in offices in New Zealand, and then New Zealand is all disrupted with all the communications, That's the only things that sometimes makes them angry. And they had to do a lot of things, the Maori young people. They had to do stealings and killings and things, and they are imprisoned because they were threatened, because people want to sit in the offices in New Zealand, and they want to manage New Zealand about it, and then they want to kill the Maoris out, and then the Maoris have to go and do the crimes on the streets. And that can make anyone angry. And when Ribea saw that happening, I reprimanded every one of them. And the whole world was tuned into it because I educated on people of color and leading this generation when I realized what everyone was doing. South African colored people of Cape Town also was in New Zealand wanting to overrule the Maoris. And the Maoris are this and the Maoris are that. And Ribea said, but enough is enough. If you came to New Zealand to come and stay here, don't disturb the young boys and don't go and ask them to do your crimes. Everyone do their own crimes, and the parliamentary house don't come and abuse the boys, because I'm noticing everything that's happening in this New Zealand. I'm staying in a street where there's a house where there's young Maori boys staying, and when the police goes there, I'm monitoring it, because the police sometimes goes into the boys and then the boys must go out and do crimes about it. And I'm monitoring the whole process about it. So I'm very firm about everything, and I'm a very calm and kind person, but don't disrupt people into apartheidnesses and things. Let me quickly rinse this. Thank you. What is this? No, the thing that I want to there. Oh, I thought it was chicken breast. Oh, I put the chicken breast away. That's I just needed this. I get very angry because it's nice for us to travel the world and to travel into international countries, but no one is gonna abuse no one's countries. Let's do our sweet pumpkin cutting first before I continue with it. After all that aggression, let's start some with the sweet pumpkin while we feel so firm and kind about all these processes. Police knows they are our friends, but no one is gonna abuse no one's house. There was one thing that the communication came that they wanted to turn the Maoris into the Aboriginal people again. Aboriginals in Australia is not yet out of poverty completely, and Australia is looking amazing. And the Europeans have done amazing in Australia. But the only problem Ribea Elise has for the process is the Aboriginal circumstances, is that they are the people of the native people of the land, and you look after your native people. You don't come and oppress them into poverty and into Africa about the circumstances. Ribea says you allow the people to still amazingly enjoy their countries while you are managing offices and processes in their countries and in the world. I have a good love for the Europeans that traveled the world, and everyone knows the history class about it. But I can also say the Europeans are very nicely managing it very well. But what we do not agree with is no one comes to abuse people into poverty. And I do not even allow the South African colored people to come and do that. Because the African people in New Zealand are very calm. They don't talk. They are quiet. And they are just listening. And they are not disrespectful to the Maori people. And the only people that sometimes disrespected are people who has to be reprimanded, and South African colours have reprimanded them over and over again about that. They don't come to New Zealand to come and manage the Maoris about it. Everyone had a good time with wanting to own the world about it, but Ribea says the world belongs to everyone. So for those who's managing the offices in New Zealand, the Maoris are fine with everyone managing the offices. They are also sometimes in the offices. The celebrity house in America, the Maoris are fine with that, but the Maoris are not going to be disrespected and disrupted with all of those arguments. Between all the arguments between Mexico, yes, Mexicans in New Zealand, and yes, Maoris. And the Maoris are not going to be disrupted by the arguments. We are managing New Zealand very fine, and the teams have been very fine for quite some time now. So the celebrity house, when they have arguments, what does Ribea say to South Africa? You'll manage your arguments in your own countries, and you'll try to manage it there. If you are in entertainment and you'll have to work with the people, then the communication needs to be fine, to not abuse the guys, because no one in their countries wants to be abused or oppressed. So all the people that came to manage the offices, they need to, and because we know there's international communications that are managed from New Zealand, but the Maoris are not against the international management processes. They are just not going to be disrespected. Everyone in New Zealand is not against the management processes of international people that travels in to manage the world in a certain way. They are just not going to be oppressed when the processes are managed. That goes for entertainment, and that goes for offices in the world, that goes for finances in the world, and that goes for communications in the world, because the sun begins in New Zealand and by the island side of it, and all of the communication processes and everyone who came to manage the world from Auckland, New Zealand. The Bible says at the ends of the earth is there by New Zealand and the islands. They manage the processes and the revival starts there. And the Bible means sometimes it's an obstinate nation that comes from other countries and that wants to make them obstinate in their Maorinesses. But the Bible educates us and saying, but while at the ends of the earth the revival starts, at the ends of the earth a lot of things happen. And while everyone is managing the process in New Zealand, Ribea says, do not disrupt one another. Do not disrespect one another. If it's entertainment processes, you'll communicate properly. You'll do not send them threatening messages from America when you all know America and China is in argument, and you'll know Americans are in New Zealand, and you'll also know that Chinese people are managing processes in New Zealand, and then you'll do not threaten the Maoris into gangsterisms, because that's where Ribea gets angry. The Indians also, they came to manage their offices and amazing processes. But what I always educate is, while everyone knows the ends of the earth is the amazing communication line of mankind and the amazing things that happens in New Zealand and the way that the world can be corrected and fixed is happening here. But everyone who came to work on those processes, do not disrupt people of the land, and don't disrupt the world, and don't disrupt the country, because Ribea is noticing everything that happens. International sports people, don't send your argument to New Zealand also, because you all are busy there in South African international people. Sorry for that quickly, but the South African international people, I have a problem with the fact that South Africa wants to manage the processes in New Zealand from South Africa, and Ribea doesn't agree with that. So all of those communications and management ways needs to be right. And the teams that need to manage the processes, manage it from where they are managing it. We don't want South Africa to tell the Europeans here on what to do with the Maori people and how to manage the Maori people. And then the Indians run to America, and the Indian Ariel Emmanuel owns America about it, and the celebrity house. And then they want to send messages around the world. Ribea is not allowing those disrespectfuls. So everyone gets their attitudes right. Let's quickly check this. And everyone needs to manage their processes right, and no one is going to disrupt no one in all of these amazing process managements in the world. And whoever was burning the Hawaii people down to tell the Maori something, Ribea Elise tells the world, whoever is having to want to say something, say it in your own countries. And you'll leave the people, you don't send messages like that to the Maoris also, because they are not difficult and they are not scared of anything that happens in this world. And God of this world is not scared of anything and any communications. So whoever was burning Hawaii down, in the process of Hawaii that you want to send to the Maori boys, so that the Maori boys can do your crime and corruption, the world is tuned in and listening to all of these communications and abuses. My kitchen is this morning, the pumpkin is going to be stunning, but you all are not going to mess with our processes and you are not going to threaten the boys. You all can somehow discuss what messages you all were trying to send to them also. About the Hawaii fires, we want to know. The world has to work on those processes so that you all do not continue on communications like that. Because that Hawaii fires has got to do with Johannesburg fires, has got to do with a whole lot of things that happened when the Hawaii fires happened, the Moroccan earthquake, and the whole communication of y'all that wants to rule the world. What we say is if y'all have arguments in your country, South Africa manage South Africa, and the people in New Zealand manage New Zealand, the Maoris manage New Zealand, and the world manage the process behind. Don't come and send threat messages around the world about fires and what y'all are doing and the whole mess about it. The international sports teams are busy with sending those threat messages. The FIFA World Cup teams. FIFA 2022 World Cup. And the Syrian and Turkish earthquake and Moroccan earthquakes. That Cape Town doctor that blows the wind, that thinks that the wind is now only natural processes. But in the meantime, it's a whole universe disruptiveness that some people in the world are busy with. And while we are doing our pumpkin trees, I'm going to quickly clean. Pumpkin is now very nicely cut. That African-American team that has sent New Zealand information about films, about Ribea and about Malvina the whole time. If y'all don't know in the celebrity house how to communicate in America, and y'all don't know what programs to make and how to make programs and how to communicate information, then you'll have to employ other people in American celebrity house. That's how the process in the world works. Y'all do not send photos and television programs of people who looks like Malvina to New Zealand, and then you'll communicate that. What do y'all communicate to New Zealand is the question. Y'all educate people properly. Y'all do not send them, prepare and threaten the boys with television programs like that. Because the way Ribea doesn't want to hear about Malvina ruling in the house, the same way no woman wants to hear about another woman that wants to rule in their countries or in their houses. So get that whole communication right. The Philippine storm that happened in 2022, we are monitoring that. The storm happened in September, August 2022. I have communicated that to a whole lot of people, and it was a wrong storm and it was a disruptive storm. It was a discussion that we had in New Zealand in the office, and after the discussion, the person, we were talking about Christmas and we were talking about the dog that he bought from America, and after he said that, there was a storm that went to the Philippines in September, August last year. August, September, and Ribea watched it on Al Jazeera, and Ribea said, but that storm is going at the wrong time because the discussion that we had in Whakarangaroa was not a disruptive discussion. It was a management process, but the whole storm went wrong. The Cape Town doctor that they talk about that manages the storms in the world. And we said that storm was not meant to go and punish the Philippines. We were working at Whakarangaroa, and there was an office discussion there, and there was communications that went internationally. And after those communications, the Philippines had a storm about it, and it was a very wrong storm. Yeah, South Africa knows. South Africa talk about the Cape Town wind and the doctor and the wind doctor, the doctor that operates with the wind in Cape Town. So for all those doctors, we say don't go and give country storms, and that you all know the communication was disrupted by certain things that happened. They say it's natural things in South Africa. They say not even going to the doctor is not even natural anymore. The South African people say they don't even go to the doctor anymore because natural processes in this world is not even natural anymore. It's a whole lot of bold rulings and a whole lot of, what is the process name that everyone was watching on the television? The Amazing Race. It's a whole lot of amazing race processes where they go and discover the earth and they discover the universe and they find how to manage the world and how to blow the wind and how to disrupt the wind about it and where the wind is blowing from. We are going to only do our pumpkin now very first, and we're going to only focus on our pumpkin before we start with our beef, because everyone knows we only set our table with our meat on, so our meat has its own pace of cooking. And our rice is already cooked. So we're going to first quickly do our pumpkin very nicely. And if you cut your pumpkin in anger like I'm cutting your pumpkin, then don't cut your pumpkin and red. I let the husband cut the pumpkin. Let your husband cut the pumpkin so that you honestly. Because who cuts pumpkin now at that level and pace that I was not cutting this pumpkin? All the strength in that pumpkin. But really, someone says you probably have a good technique with a knife then in the kitchen. If you can talk on that pace and be cutting the pumpkin. Why? Because you cut your pumpkin with a knife away from you. You cut your pumpkin so in the knife. You don't cut your pumpkin like with a knife to your hand. You cut it away. You keep your knife like the blade of the knife away from your hand. There, pumpkin is almost finished being cleaned very nicely. Everyone, we have a whole lot of pumpkin today. So what I'm going to do, I really want to also do this part of the pumpkin. Is we really want to have the flavor right, because this is now our 4 weeks of the pumpkin in the kitchen, and it was now very nice. Our September spring pumpkin was now very nice coming through with those flavors. Are we gonna try pumpkin soup for Christmas? Maybe we're going to do the butternut squashed pumpkin soup, only maybe for a starter for the Christmas table this year. Thank you. Yes, our next door neighbor auntie gave us that recipe. And we also can Google the proper recipe, but the only things that I would want in the pumpkin soup. I'm gonna check all the ingredients of the different ways of how you make the sweet pumpkin soup. And I know it's with cream. I know it's very pumpkiny. I know it's salty. And I know the creaminess of that and the saltness of that. All the other flavors of it, I really do not know yet. And I'm really going to have to check what does all the recipes say. That's very nice. Our pumpkin is nice and clean. I need this little part. And I just want to get there. That's now very, very nice. Are we gonna do sweet pumpkin on that pace in the kitchen again? No. What would Ribea Elise want to do is to have Dorian do the pumpkin for me before I start my cooking. And the next time we do sweet pumpkin, right? And then we're gonna do our Christmas pumpkin. Let's quickly share this with everyone. So what we want to do, so now we've cleaned our sweet pumpkin, we've cleaned our carrots, and we are going to clean our potatoes. And meanwhile, let me just clean our potatoes also. And then with all the nice clean veggies, we can then do our, cleaning the potatoes is much easier and we really don't need to be disrupted with that. We have a different type of potato today. This is our potato that we had last week, and this is our potato that we are really now going to rinse very nicely. When we are not going to do with potato peels today because last week Sunday the potatoes first tasted fine, but I had the recipe amazingly done before last Sunday. And last Sunday when the potatoes were not, the taste of the whole food last Sunday was out and out. And I said I really wanted salt on the food. The potatoes I was not that disrupted with. But you know when you add the garlic, I've made the potatoes before, but I'm gonna the baby potatoes of that. So what I'm going to do next time when we do the potatoes with the potato peel is I'm gonna make it in the pot like I did it before, and then you can braise it with a garlic flavor in. You braise it with the onion in. You soften it a little bit in the oil, and then you grill it in the oven. While it's still a little bit hard, and while it's still not cooked through, then you cook through it in the oven. And that's the recipe because you want the flavors of the garlic in the potato. And I really did not get the flavor of the garlic in the potato last Sunday. The garlic flavor you want, the onion flavor you want in the potato, and you grill that with a little bit more garlic and with a little bit more onion. You cut the onion in nice big chunks and then you grill that nice and soft. You don't grill the onion too much because the onion is now going to get a whole little bit not how you want the onion to be when you really want to just grill it to just color the grill, but to not soften it, right? And that's where you lose on the garlic flavor of it. The garlic flavor of that was to not soften the potatoes, but to get the flavor of the garlic and the chopped big onion chunks in the potatoes. Another difference is before we did that in a previous season, we did it with red onion, right? We cut the red onion in big chunks. And then we added the olive oil to that. Last Sunday we added olive oil probably more than how many times? More than once we added olive oil to the potatoes last Sunday, but the taste was still not the taste that we wanted. Another difference with the potatoes that we did last Sunday and that we grilled in the oven last Sunday with the potato peels on is that it's not the type of potato that's different. It is the fact that the flavor. There's a mixed herb that you get by the store, a green herb, and that green herb is the specific herb that gives you the correct taste that you want with your grilled onion, with olive oil, with garlic, with the potatoes grilled also. And that's actually the flavor that I'm actually needing in my kitchen for this spring season. And for our rice, because if we're going to continue to do the rice, then we want to do it in different ways. So today we're going to add masala, to put a little teaspoon of masala, just for the spiciness that we sometimes have in the rice, not too spicy, but a little teaspoon of masala, half a teaspoon of masala. But what we are wanting to say is when we get the flavor of the rice in different flavors, then we also use that spice. Oh, I wonder what herb spices that. We have the mint. The mint gives us the flavor, but the mint doesn't really give us the flavor that we really are looking for. The mint is very light in that herb flavor, in the mixed herb. The green dry herb. Look, coriander in our rice was amazing. It's tasting really nice. We're going to maybe add coriander powder to our rice today. So let's quickly rinse our potatoes. The potatoes is very nice. Another thing that we want to add to that So now we are going to quickly share that with everyone. And then we're going to start our pumpkin. So what if we clean today is that's how you want your sweet pumpkin clean, nice and clean. Our carrots are clean to grow with the potatoes today. And also we keep half the carrot for our rice salad, or one carrot, or we take another carrot to add to our rice salad. And we're not going to add tomato to our rice salad today. There was a difference in flavor, and we're going to add the sweet pumpkin now. We're going to first cook the sweet pumpkin. We're going to grill this with our potatoes and our carrots with our silver side. That we're going to first do it in our Russell Hobbs pot. And when we are done doing that, then we are going to allow it to grill. We're going to first soften and spice that, and then we're going to grill that very nicely. So let's just put our camera where we want it. your sweet pumpkin moment. And let me put all my veggies in this veggie dish so that I can just do my sweet pumpkin completely in nice chunks. And then reveal to everyone the nice chunks. What do we say about the sweet pumpkin? We don't rinse it, yes. Make sure our hands are clean before we chop it. Cooking it very dry for that nice flavor that you want in the sweet pumpkin. That's a very nice sweet pumpkin chunks. Those are the chunks that we want. And our sweet pumpkin. That's our lovely sweet pumpkin flavor. Really now have to work. And the only thing we now have to still do and still I really now cut that this side. Let's quickly share that with everyone. Very nice chunks. This is what you want with your sweet pumpkin. It's very, very nice. We really didn't share a photo today with that. With our veggies, we always do our Sunday veggie share photo. But everyone can view on the video itself the nice chunks and flavors. What we're going to do is just add to that. But before we add to that, let me quickly just do that. So we're not going to do this dressing up photo shoot today. But what we are going to do, I was standing so hard the whole time. But we do not want in our sweet pumpkin today is we really do not want the oiliness in there. So what we're going to shade, so this is what we shade. And this is what we want in our pumpkin. We want it dry. We want it very nice and pumpkinish. And we want the color on that also. And the flavor is on the color of it. The more orange Ribea said in the previous video, if you didn't watch our previous sweet pumpkin video, you know it's sweet pumpkin season for America, and America is also African American family of Ribea, and they really don't sometimes know they're from Africa, but they are also from Africa. In the color of our skins, I'm talking about the African Americans. So every time we say America, then we must sometimes specify thank you, and sometimes we do not have to specify, because everyone finds themselves in the same discussions in the world. So this sweet pumpkin is very, very nice. And America specializes in pumpkin years. And Ribea's family line has probably also been in America over the years. And I have family in America, and they're doing very good. And they're in the celebrity house also, yes. And they are doing very, very good. And they are very, very good. But they do not disclose themselves. But I have learned that they are there. They are amazingly there. They have been in America for years. And I've learned that they educate me that this family of us that has been part of the New Yorkness of New York. And they are celebrating that. So they are constantly sending information, and then other people are also arguing with them when they're sharing information through Elise. So while they're sharing information of where our ancestors have been and where they have traveled and where they have worked and where they have been for years, they have educated me about the Halloween pumpkin and of it. And I'm amazingly sometimes looking at the educations, but I do not want Malvina education to disrupt Ribea Elise education, because it's a difference in family lines. So what I'm educating and what I'm saying is that this sweet pumpkin, the way that I cook it dry and the way that you cook it without all the rinsingness of the water, because it's got its own water, its flavor, it's natural, and you want the natural taste in there. And we're only going to focus on that today. Thank you. Let's get our stuff out quickly. And this is our pan that we're going to use. And what Ribea Elise is going to add, I came to the camera this side. We're going to add butter. This is our butter that we're going to add. We always add this butter. We always only buy this butter. And we do 3 scoops of this. And we exactly have enough butter still, so we can still. So what I'm going to do now, I put butter on the base of it, of the pan. And then I add my pumpkin quickly on that 1 scoop. Now we're going to get our camera this side, because there's now space for us to put our camera at. And then while we add our camera this side, then we can share our nice pumpkinness of that. So we want our camera this side, yes. And that's very nice. And now we can share in the pumpkinness. So I'm going to add 2 more scoops of this. I'm going to add my pinch of salt to the pumpkin. Pinch of salt is a teaspoon for everyone who really wants to know quickly into the sweet pumpkinness of that. And that's a little bit. And that's very nice. You want to taste the salt in your pumpkin. What we're now going to add is we want to add our sugar in our pumpkin. We want to taste our sugar in our pumpkin. Now my chicken is a little bit rusty. And then we add to that. What we want in the sugar is we want at least 3 tablespoons. No, not 3 tablespoons, about 4 tablespoons of sugar. But I'm first going to top this with butter, and I'm going to share that with everyone. And let me get another tube of butter out of the fridge, because I'm going to probably use all the butter. Because there's still enough butter. You know what we love to do, and what we used to love to do is we used to love to buy our monthly shopping. So I put 4 tablespoons of butter now to flavor our pumpkin. And what we used to do, everyone, we first add the sugar, and then I'm going to reveal to everyone a photo of that. So now I'm going to add my sugar. Normally I take the tub and I mix so over the pot, and I know exactly when to do when my sugar is fine. But now let me do the tablespoon so that I can share with everyone how much sugar I'm going to add. That's 1 tablespoon, 2, 3, so 9 tablespoons of that to me feels fine. And that's how I normally do my pumpkin. You know, when you feel fine, you're gonna now do that, and you're gonna check why I'm so onto how much sugar I add to that. So that now is about 9 tablespoons of sugar, right? That is now about 4 tablespoons of butter. That now is about half a teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to now add cinnamon powder to that. What does Ribea always say? What cinnamon is very nice with it? Well, cinnamon stick. Very nice with this pumpkin, but we're fine cinnamon. With the same flavor, the cinnamon powder, ground cinnamon powder, is lighter than the cinnamon stick when you make your Sunday pumpkin. And you get the original flavor when you add the cinnamon stick to the pumpkin. And that's why we are focusing on the sweet pumpkinness about this today, so that nothing about our sweet pumpkin are disturbed. We're going to now take a nice seat with a nice glass of water, and we're gonna enjoy pumpkin. And there's 4 tablespoons of butter in, 4 tablespoons cinnamon stick in that gives an amazing flavor. Ground cinnamon dries the flavor a little bit, but it is amazing flavor. Ground cinnamon dries the flavor a little bit, but it is in the flavor of the pumpkin. But you would want the cinnamon stick in this type of pumpkin when you cook this pumpkin. And that's how I grew up. My mama Aunt Philander always used to do this cinnamon stick in the pumpkin. Now I'm going to add cinnamon quickly to that, a teaspoon of cinnamon, teaspoon and a half. And today we're going to let that steam cook soft in the butter. We're going to add the lid to that. And that's where we want that to be. We want our butter now that side. Now we're going to only focus on waiting for a pumpkin. We're going to have our cup of tea. I'm going to sit on my seat. And I'm going to have my water quickly, sit on my seat, and I'm going to put on the microwave and warm my milk while the pumpkin is softening. Let me clean the onion also while we are busy, so that I can do the potatoes and the meat. And only cleaning my onions. So that I can do my lines. We are cleaning onions, everyone, and taking a little bit of a sauce, and everyone not ready. We're gonna close the window for the rain. There's our onions. Very nicely cleaned. The auntie say, what is that in Ribea? Say, that's our onion. Really quickly. Very nice. That's great, and that's let's get to a nice spot. Just so that we can just add it to a nice spot. That's nice chunks. That's our beef pot. We can break up carrot, and then we can also have garlic goes to our beef pot. We can open our beef pot also for that. Carrot. The rice, and then we know we can start the rice when our pumpkin is nice and soft. We can start the rice. That's exactly the amount of carrots we want to that. That's very nice. And now while we are doing the carrot, very, very nice. Very, very nice. We actually only share it quickly with everyone. We're so lucky for that. We're actually only gonna share sweet pumpkin very quickly flavoring in its flavor. And that's the flavor that we are talking about, the butterness of that, the softness of its own water. It creates, we want the sweet pumpkin very soft, we want the sweet pumpkin very cooked. It's soft, it's cooking in its own, it's soft, it's cooking in its own water and its own, and really. I haven't found the pause button on our video yet, so we are still gonna have to just to our videos and let the timing of the videos. Oh, stove, don't get time. I can't find the stove time. It's nine. You don't stir your pumpkin in too much. You just stir it so that it softens. We're gonna have water and then we're gonna have our rice. Yeah. There we are having water in the kitchen. I really want to now make a cup of tea, but let me just quickly allow myself to just ease into that. Sweet pumpkin is cooking on a high because I am monitoring the stove. Some lemon zest into our rice today. Some cajun spice into our rice today. Some garlic flavor in our rice today. And then some masala flavor in our rice so that we can taste a little teensy spiciness in that. And our salt in our rice, we need the saltiness perfect, so we're gonna check the salt in the rice before we'll find what the dessert sound. Ground cumin, ground not cajun, ground cumin. A little bit of spicy rice, ground cumin with masala, with our garlic, with our lemon zest, in the normal flavor with our onion and our carrots. Let me quickly just quickly do that. And then we're gonna do the rice. Sweet pumpkin is lovely, softening. Stir it a little bit, you know. It's very soft. You can smell the flavor of it, and that's what you want. Yes. You can smell the nice flavor in your sweet pumpkin. Oh, very nice and sweet. Now we're gonna put our stove. Now we're gonna put our stove lower, and we need to redo our nails. There's one nail off also. But we're gonna now, and we need to sometimes be Q-tics vet, so we're just gonna Q-tics vet quickly with some red Q-tics, some pink Q-tics. So what we're going to do now is we're going to now switch our pumpkin off. And when we warm our pumpkin, let me just speak back. The pumpkin is soft. It's really nice and soft. Really nice and soft. Such a full of flavor. So what we are going to do now is we are going to switch our pumpkin off just now. Now our pumpkin feels very nice. Our pumpkin looks nice. It's full of flavor and it's very nice and soft. And that's the flavor that we're going to want in our pumpkin tea. So there you know your pumpkin is ready to switch off, ready to go on with your different cooking, with the rice cooking, and there you know that the pumpkin is fine to enjoy and fine to appreciate and fine to cool down. And then later when you warm it again, you give it enough time. The flavors are in, the flavors are around. And now you give yourself time. I add the lid to there, give the pumpkin one more moment, and then I'm gonna switch the pumpkin off, and then we start with our rice. In our rice, we're only adding our olive oil use, and we're gonna add all the nice flavors that we have just said. Flavorful garlic, flavorful cumin, flavorful masala, zest of the mandarin, and some carrot to that. So now let me switch off my pumpkin. Let me just put the pumpkin on that and the rice like this. That's nice. Now I'm going to add the olive oil to the rice for the onion quickly. I'm going to add a teaspoon. Let me just get my teaspoon. Garlic, and I'm really now going to leave it in this dish that I've just now used. I'm going to have a teaspoon garlic, chopped garlic, a lot. That's how much we're going to add today. Let's just lift that and add that to the pot. Teaspoon and a half. We want flavor in this rice today. That's nice. We're gonna add our ground cumin. We're gonna save for now when we are done with that. On the onion. For flavor. We're adding hot Durban masala. And that is the amount that we're going to add. It's half a teaspoon. A little bit after that. We're gonna now wait to that and do that and let it braise in let that onion braise quickly. Okay, that will be the one. And there's our onion key, and our garlic key, and our cumin, ground cumin key, and our olive oil. And once we're done with that, we're just quickly gonna rinse this so that we can all have the flavor in the sky. So that's fine to leave in there. So that we don't have our flavors mixed too much. When the onion is nice and soft here, and the carrot, so then we're going to add the carrot, because we want the carrot also nice and soft. So today our pumpkin is fine, right? And we are not going to allow ourselves to be disappointed with our pumpkin or with any of our foods today, so we're doing one dish at a time. Because we have learned that when we are doing it under camera, then we can get a lot of disappointment with the food because our attention is the whole time with how we cook. So we can sometimes disappoint our food, and we don't want to disappoint our family members. Then if we can get my carrot and get my hands, and then before we go into the fish, we do that side because we're going to want our camera at the side again. quickly share my grated carrot with everyone. And that's my grated carrot, everyone, that we're gonna add now to our rice. That's enough carrot. This is one carrot, right? And this one carrot you grate very nice and soft flavor, and then we're gonna add our rice to that. Let's just say our video Doreen is doing grass cutting, and it's very, very nice. And let's say that with everyone quickly. I'm just gonna get our camera and angle for our rice. That's nice. Okay, what we are now is going to do, just put the stove on a little lower level. Just quickly going to add my carrot. I'm gonna take this off the stove, can be on the placemat. Because we really have feel our stove is on a very high. And let's quickly do that. So we just put our plate on low. Level, that's nice. Then we're gonna add our rice to this flavor. Size not too spicy. We're gonna add some lemon zest into the rice itself. Some nectarine zest that is now also almost like orange zest, not lemon, but it's just the nectarine. Just for that flavor, we can add a little bit of the juice into that also. Let me just go into that. We're going to chunk some juice into the rice also. So I'm just going to quickly reveal how much juice. We first need to now, what I'm going to do is the juice in. We're going to just squash a little bit of juice in there to add to our rice. And that's the amount of juice that we want in our rice. Not a lot, just for that zest flavor of that and for the sweet flavor of the nectarine zest with the cumin, with the masala, with the garlic, and with salt in there. Let me quickly just like this area before I'm gonna start with our meat about that. And then I'm going to just quickly check that we're going to use the bag. Now what I want to do is the rice is the stove is now 101. That's good enough. I'm going to add my rice quickly. And then add this what we have. Leave the carrots to be too soft for that. Carrots had enough time now to be soft. And it's flavor, so when we want the rice is again a lot, because we need the whole week of the rice. We spend a lot of time on the rice flavor. Our stove is on a number one, on a one plate, on a level one. So it's nice. It's already cooked. The carrot has already had a time to soften. Only thing we now gonna taste in the rice is that we want the saltiness of the salt. You don't want the rice to be crisp. You don't want it to taste crisp. Time now to warm up. So we can enjoy ourselves a good stirring in the rice, everyone. You can enjoy yourself stirring the rice very nicely. Leave it on a level one and you warm your rice nice and you let the spice and the flavor really break through your rice. And then we're gonna give our rice a little bit of time to just enjoy the flavor of the meat. And we're gonna sweet some rice. And that's almost what we want with the rice. Ooh, there we're missing rice. We're gonna have to now quickly scoop that. Let me just see before we're now gonna scoop. Rinse our hands. Let me just see our rice with everyone and how we want the flavor of the rice and what's happening with our rice today. The rice is tasting a little bit different. We switch our stove up because we're gonna add the rice on the warm plate. But let's see our video and the oddness that we have now quickly done. So that's where we run the rice. The only thing that I'm now going to do is I'm going to taste the flavor of the rice, right? I'm going to taste the lemon zest in it. I'm going to taste the garlic in it. And I'm going to taste the cumin in it and the salt in it. And if I do not taste any of those flavors, what am I going to do? I'm going to add a little bit of garlic to that again. I'm going to add it to the middle of the pan. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin to that. And I'm going to add salt to that. And I'm going to make a little bit of space there. And I'm going to let that quickly cook. And then I'm going to just stir that again if it's now really not the flavor that I want the rice to be. So let me just taste the rice flavor. Making it taste it good. That's comfortable. It's going to be too sweet out of that. Let's taste that, everyone. You want to taste all of those flavors. I can taste the cumin. Only thing I want to taste in that is the salt. And that's the only ingredient that I cannot taste in there. I can taste the masala. I really only want to taste the salt in there. That's nice. And that's what I do with the salt. And where is my salt? There's a stirrer. Let's stir that through. And that's fresh salt. And that we do not need again on the stove. It's warm, it's full of flavor, and I only needed to add salt to that. That's our rice cooked. And then we're gonna have to scoop. Stove is off, that's nice. So then the rice can have that space there. Because after that we're gonna have to clean up the kitchen now. It's veggie time and meat time. Oh, rinsing meat moments. Let's make space in our sink to rinse meat. Let's rinse this one up. Because when we're done cooking, then we do our kitchen cleaning one time. Make some good space for our red meat quickly. And to rinse our red meat and to rinse also our chicken breasts. Silver side is difficult to rinse. It's very difficult to rinse. So this you keep when you rinse your silver side. You keep this handy because it can splat all over the place. But it's sometimes fine to rinse it. Other times it splatters. Depending on how you rinse it. What you do with this baggie. Ribea just gets the baggie so and Ribea allows it to. What we're gonna do, we add water into the silver side bag, but we first take all of this readiness aside. And we let the water drip into the bag. And then we take our silver side out, there's our bag, there's all the solvent spouts down the drain. And there we have our silver side and there's no red spots, no spots on our clothes, no spots nowhere with hot water is. So that's where we are at. That's as clean as you can get it. Chicken clean, we'll rinse that also quickly. That's as clean as we want that. Our hands are nice and clean. It's very nice. Now we're gonna do this. This is our meat, spicy, garlic. Cumin. We are gonna add chicken spice. We don't have cumin. We add chicken spice. We have lots of salt. We add lots of garlic into that. Let's flavor this quickly. Let's set our camera this way. That's great because now we're gonna do our chicken and our red meat. We're first gonna do our red meat. Our silver side is gonna take some time. So we know we're gonna allow ourselves for the silver side to take its own time. We have our carrots ready. We have our silver side and our chicken ready. And we have our potatoes ready. The only thing that we need to do with the potatoes is we need to just make sure that the potatoes are quickly, that the carrots are quickly ready for that. Let's just see what I want to do. Let me just quickly finish this. I said I'm going to add another more carrot to that, but I'm not actually going to. The still carrots is more than enough. That's nice. That's nice. Let's quickly just have our carrots fine. Share up carrots quickly with everyone. That's nice. So that's what we want with our carrots. Our potatoes and our silver side. What are we gonna do there? Let's see that quickly. So what we have here is that's gonna be going into our pot. Everyone loves our pot. Our pot already has its onion in and it's very nice and it's gonna have its garlic in now. And then we're gonna add our silver side. We're gonna first add 1 carrot on top of the onions and we're gonna add silver side. We're gonna do the chicken when the silver side is really soft. We're gonna let it have its own time in nicely bracing soft there. So what I'm now going to add is some garlic. Garlic, we eye quickly. Let me quickly add some garlic to that. Where's the garlic? There you are. So the onion for that. So that's nice. We add only with that carrot that I want to add today. This carrot today. We put that on. What's that? And that's nice to switch on. Nice to move up, nice to make so. Thank you. And we put our plate and saute that onion. We leave the pot open for that. It's nice. So the side, let me rinse this quickly for Why do I not have water in here when I put my spoon in? So that the water is not splashing all over the floor. I must really pick rice up on the floor. And I'm really not going to move in that area until I'm now done so that I can pick the rice up that I have now really spilled on the floor. So that's why I do not add water to that. Let's give that some time. Let's have some water to drink ourselves. And then we quickly wait for that. Silver side has got its own flavor, everyone. Silver side has got its own flavor. Have your water bottle ready like Ribea is in the kitchen. That's nice. Let's give that its time. Where do we want to wipe stove? Wow. It's very nice. It's one there also. Alright, it's tasting nice. Everything is tasting nice. How do we warm our rice? Our rice before we cook. We add a drop of water so that the water just set the low level of the big pan because we cannot put that pan in the oven. And then we switch the plate on and we give our rice one stir and another stir, and then our rice is warm when we are setting the table. That's what we want to do. Our carrot is in here by our onion because we want to put the silver side on top of the carrot and garlic flavor. So when the silver side cooks soft, the silver side is going to cook soft on top of the carrot and the garlic flavor as well. Nice, lovely and kind. We need our food to be lovely and kind to us, and we need to be lovely and kind to our food to be kind to us. Otherwise, Ribea is going to be like next Sunday with a pumpkin. Who messed in my pumpkin? And for those people who are enjoying our cooking, everyone always says, like our videos. Ribea says the same, like our videos. And view our videos, everyone, so that we can get the funding for that. So we would appreciate that. We thank you for everyone who is viewing our videos here. Please like people shout when they are doing their live stream videos, So we will appreciate if people can press like if you have viewed our videos, one of our videos, even if you have just viewed it, and you really appreciate viewing it in a Sunday, just looking at how the kitchen looks. Some people just want to do that sometimes, and that's fine because the world is exactly like that. And when you want to look how the kitchen, how my kitchen is looking, and how Ribea is looking on this Sunday, and how Ribea is in the kitchen, and is there any odd spots in the kitchen, and any odd green cloths in the kitchen, like Pastor Green, then what you all do on those days is you all actually press a like on the video. Also, hopefully the rain will be good. Or buy for us clean kitchen, nice kitchen cloths. Not clean, we clean it often, but the niceness of it is important. And how regularly we can buy kitchen cloths are important. And it's not expensive, it's about $1. And Dorian knows when Ribea works, he buys stuff like kitchen cloths the whole time. Kmart has got $1 for it, right? Kmart is it's costing us $1, and then we can actually get a set of kitchen cloths. Those are simple things, and I don't go to the shop and I don't have money. So I really, really, really appreciate the kitchen clothness of that, the $1-ness. I say that loud because the husband sometimes also watches the videos. Now I'm going to tell him later about kitchen clothes, but it's true. Nowadays, people are making your grocery list, and you are not even making your grocery list yourself. And your husband goes to the shop and he goes, you're confused. Why? Because the world has got a communication humanity. And someone gives Dorian his communication grocery list, and Dorian comes with the wrong stuff the whole time. And so many women have argued with it in this world. And Ribea, I don't argue about it. I'm not difficult, but I look at what my husband brings in, because he knows what we are cooking and what's necessary in the house. So if anyone else will control him and they give him a wrong grocery list in his brain function, in his brain communication, and he comes home and he doesn't even have, the proper kitchen clothes about it. And then it becomes a problem. World ruling means people have an insight into your house and into your communication. That's like we are nowadays on social media, and Ribea says, why is that one posting that? I meant to say that. And it's a whole world process like that, and so is the grocery list in households. In the financial circumstances. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my spice quickly close and my salt. Silverside has got its own nice salt, so we're not going to add a lot of salt to that. My spice to that. My onion looks nice. My carrot looks nice. My garlic looks nice. That's as nice as we want it. So before we're going to set up the phone and we're going to do the meat cooking by its own, we just do that. We add just that piece of carrot is gonna be enough flavor for that. That garlic we want it as alive as it can be, the onions as alive as it can be. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our silver side to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use this hand quickly so that I get my silver side nice. Let me just quickly do that. The silver side is now at this moment with Ribea Elise. But that's more than good, right? We just add a one-hand take on that because we want that flavor in the silver side itself, and that's why we leave the carrot there. What I'm also going to do with that, so I'm working on a one-hand mode now, and that's just adding the spice to that. It's not chicken, it's still my Cajun spice, and it's a very nice spice. Thank you for whoever made the spice, but that's how we want that to be. I want that carrot flavor in that, and I'm going to actually, in that while it's preparing, because we are actually going to add the carrots and the potatoes to that. But we first gonna braise it, we give it a saute that, we give it enough time to saute in that flavor. We want this carrot actually under that and in that flavor about it. And we're gonna do that for us for a few seconds, and then we're quickly gonna. And then when we are done with that, when I'm done with that, then I'm quickly going to put the phone off because the phone is going to need some charge, and we're going to do the chicken also in the grill after that, just to soften the chicken when there's space in there. Otherwise, we're just going to grill the chicken in the oven and share that with everyone when we set our table. We only wanted to focus on our sweet pumpkin today. So when we make silver side again, then we're gonna share the complete silver side video, and we're only focusing on one dish at a time. So videos are extensive, we're taking time. Let's do that some time quickly to brown great, and then we're gonna close out. Add a little drop of water and close out pot. That's very nice. Your silver side, everyone, does not take that much time. Get my fork so that I can really turn it while it's really just breaking on one side. So it's really browning that. Braise and brown. That's very nice. Where's Kajun? Kajun, let's say where you're going over there. Rubea's gonna add a little drop of water. Rubea's gonna add more garlic because remember our rice is not over garlicky. And I top this garlic onto my silver side, like pieces of garlic, and I'm gonna add a little drop of water so that it can soften in this flavor. You can see just the amount of garlic that I'm doing there. And that's amazingly really close our pot. And then we add a drop of water to that. Kettle is lovely, quickly. Just need that water in there. We're going to now amazingly. That's gonna give us enough garlic. We're gonna add the carrot. We have added the carrots to that. We're gonna add water, and we're gonna soften our silver side, and then that's enough water for us for that. And when we are done, we are adding those amazing flavors when it's nice and soft. Those amazing flavors to soften. The flavors doesn't take much to soften, and that's about the flavorness of our silver side today. Let's quickly close our pot. Our pot is now at 9 minutes. We're gonna give our pot saute. So the pot is very interestingly nice. So let me just quickly share our pot. Thank you everyone for viewing. Press like on our videos, and thank you Ribea Kitchen today. So we're gonna add the carrots, right? The pot is very easy. So we're having the pot on a saute 9 seconds, right? So when 9 minutes or seconds where we at with that, so 8 seconds, right? And when we're going to now put the pot on another saute, then we check our pot, we check how fast the silver side is gonna cook, and then we're gonna allow our silver side its own time to soften and to cook soft. Hi everyone, Ribea's Cooking Sunday. Let's quickly share with everyone where we are at, what our rice that we have done. And we will watching the video, share and like our video. So that's our rice complete. Our rice has today got a little bit of cajun in, a little bit of cumin in. Our rice today has got grated carrots, it's got that onion that's nicely braised. It's got its masala in, it's got nice garlic flavors and salt in that. And it's got mandarin zest, right? Mandarin like your lemon zest, and it's got some mandarin juice in there that we have added. When you watch the video, you can exactly check how we made that, and it's nice. And then we're also cooking once again our sweet pumpkin today. Sweet pumpkin is cooked in butter, it's cooked in sugar, and the recipe ingredient is available while we're discussing the video. In the video we share what's in there. There's cinnamon in, and there's a half a teaspoon of salt in there, and that's exactly where we're at. And we're gonna do broccoli also today, and we're also going to cook our steamed broccoli, and we're cooking our steamed cauliflower with that. We're probably gonna do cauliflower cheese next Sunday, hopefully. Hopefully we're doing cauliflower cheese next Sunday. And while we are gonna braise our we're gonna check our silver side. We're gonna grow our chicken with that and get all the flavors in there. And when our potatoes and our silver side are soft and cooked, now we're adding our potatoes and our carrots. And then we take our potatoes and our carrots out when it's nice and soft, so that we can still just give our silver side its time to soften nicely. And I love to our pot, we love it. I love to the amazingness of our cooking seasons. And then we're gonna set the table for everyone. We're not doing this photo for about fashion today. We're gonna do a different dress. Hopefully we wanted to do a different dress today, or hopefully we're gonna do this photo and we're gonna share this dress with everyone. Everyone loves this dress more, and next Sunday the next dress seems and sounds fine. But I'm just going to, before we do our AWOKH fashion photo shoot, please like on our videos. You have viewed us, please like, we would appreciate that. Thank you for sharing with our AWOKH business and with our AWOKH initiatives. And the our pot is ready. Let's just check our silver side. And what we're going to fashion in season is we are going to allow ourselves to fashion our amazing season. Attitude is different this year, but we must listen to what we educate under fashion about it. And we must listen to what we are educating when we wear our fashion, because it's not necessarily a blossoming dressing that we are fashioning and giving our opinion about. It is the completeness of the season's education that we have done amazingly for these 2 years with the AWOKH business. That's very nice. That's very nice. Straighten that. It's nice. I'm going to quickly. Let me add my carrots to that and my potatoes to soften in the flavor. Thank you for that. And then when I'm done softening my carrots and my potatoes, thank you, our hands are clean, right? We've washed our hands totally now for how many times while we're cooking. That's very nice, and that's nice, and that's nice. So Ribea is just gonna quickly share that with everyone also. Let me add our spice. So we said in this pot is our Cajun spice. We're gonna add it to our aromatic pot. So it's not aromatic, it's our Cajun pot. Our aromatic pot, but it's our Cajun spice. Let me add salt to our onions and our potatoes. So that's enough salt because the silver side has got salt. And then I'm gonna share this video, and then we are probably after this video. So now I'm gonna allow that to braise a little bit. Put a little drop of more water keys in there. Let me add a little more water keys. Let me use my kettle key. That's more than enough. We soften that flavors, and we get the flavors into the potatoes and into the carrots, and we take our potato and carrots off while the silver side is gonna cook soft and nice. And we're gonna enjoy all of this flavors. There could be Elise further on. And let's close our pot. Thank you for that great communication. And we're gonna put our pot on a pot roast. And we press start for that. And that's more than enough for us for today. Let's rinse our chicken so that our chicken can also enjoy. What I'm gonna do with the chicken is now I'm not gonna share it now. When my silver side is done, we're gonna not add it to this video, but we're gonna share it when the video is done and complete dried. When we set our table. So our silver side is now very nice in the pot, and our onions and our potatoes is nice, and it's gonna have its own time and its own flavor, and it's gonna cook in that flavor. And then when that's done, and when I want to really add it to the oven, I'm going to then add this chicken into the pot, in that sauce and in that flavor, and then I'm gonna grill the chicken also in the oven. And that's it for our AWOKH fashion video today, everyone. Our steamed broccoli is gonna be on the pot also and on the table today, and our steamed cauliflower, everyone knows we have a previous video after that we're gonna share with everyone. Because we really, let me quickly get my steamed cauliflower also out and just say that everyone knows, just a pinch of salt to that, water to that, and let me quickly do that, and then we're concluding the video. And then our video is concluded and complete about that. Let me quickly just get that. Cauliflower is so huge, and then I had to tell myself to not completely prepare and take the cauliflower out for that also. Let's get some good chunks up here. That's about some good chunks that we want with our broccoli today. We're gonna do cauliflower cheese probably during this week, because with this cauliflower we can really do cauliflower cheese, because it's a very nice cauliflower and it's very loved. That's more than enough. Let's add that again into our fridge quickly. Here's our broccoli. We're just steaming it in water and salt, and that's the only thing we're going to do. Steam it nice and soft. But we steam it before we set the table so that we do not really have to warm any foods the whole time. And that's why we are leaving the steaminess after this. Nice soft veggies for just before we conclude our video. Because everyone knows how we do our chicken. Thank you. I can sometimes, let me just quickly do that. That's nice. Nice chunks. We want to do that to that. That's also very nice. And these chunks we can just quickly mix out. These chunks we just quickly do that to it. So today we only focused on the sweet pumpkin video, everyone. So we focused on it until we get the sweet pumpkin the way that we really want our sweet pumpkin. We have had sweet pumpkin now for how many weeks? And we really did want the sweet pumpkin the way that we wanted, everyone. That's our steamed. Thank you for liking the video. That's our steamed veggies that we're going to also have on today's table. We're going to steam this just now before we table and before the food is ready, when the food is ready. And that's steamed broccoli with our salt and steamed broccoli and cauliflower that we're going to set today on the table also. That's about that. Thank you everyone for joining Ribea Elise's amazing Sunday cooking and for liking our video. Continue to follow our page and share our page with your friends and family, and share Ribea Elise's education also with them. We have been somewhat very firm on our pages today, but we are very kind and very direct with where we are educating at in season. And our education is exactly Ribea Elise, the type of person, in my opinion, with where I find myself at in our generation. And I discuss that and I educate that with our fashion and with every education that we educate with our business. And also the Ribea at home moments. And that is it for today's video, everyone. Have an amazing Sunday further.